So I was told that I would never make it in the music industry. I was told by a lot of people that it just wasn't lucrative and that I should pick something that was just more tried and tested. And that really conflicted with me because music has always been such a big passion for me in my life. I started playing guitar when I was probably 13 years old, and I took lessons, and then I later was in a band in high school called Rising Legacy. And I actually looked this up the other day, and there's a video of our band playing, so check this out. So that was my band, well, not my band, but the band that I was a part of. And I really enjoyed playing in that band. And the thing that I loved was just, it was so neat to have fans and to have, like, people would actually walk up to us and say, dude, I really dig that song. And I don't know, for some people, they're just so used to that, I guess, in a way. But for me, it meant so much that our creative output impacted someone in at least a way that they enjoyed. And so I wanted to go into college as a music major, but again, I kept getting told, like, Josh, it's not lucrative. So I went into college as an exercise science major. I went through, music was completely on the back burner, and basically I just did it as a hobby at that point. And then I went to grad school and I graduated with a doctoral in physical therapy. And currently I practice as a physical therapist. And pretty much during that entire time, like I said, music never really was on the forefront at all. In fact, I abandoned it for a long period of time, and I barely touched my guitar. I would write maybe one track a year, if that. And it just got to a point to where I almost just brushed it aside completely. And so as I'm working, now I enjoy physical therapy, and I think it's a really rewarding profession. But every so often there would just be this little nugget in my head, this little what if, and this what if, like, what if I would have actually pursued music? And that's always sort of been lingering in my mind, because no matter how much I enjoy my career as a physical therapist, my one true passion is music. And so that what if occasionally enters my mind every so often. But more recently, I've been getting into guitar again. And in the summertime, I actually posted some progress videos of me trying to relearn the guitar. And I'm still doing that. I'm still practicing a lot. And over the past few weeks, that what if sort of changed form. And instead of a what if I would have pursued music, it's now become a what if it's not too late? And what if that is actually a viable thing to still pursue? And I would get that thought, but I would immediately brush it aside because it just seems very overwhelming and very, the odds just seem so slim to try to make it in the music industry. And, this channel has certainly morphed a lot. And I was talking with a YouTube coach, and we really unpacked a lot of stuff in the course of an hour. And I've always wanted this to be somewhat of a music channel. Like, I started it off as a piano review channel. Well, I didn't even start it off with the intent of doing that, but I just started posting some reviews of a piano program that I was doing. And then over a while, a couple years, it was left inactive. And then I wanted to somehow blend physical therapy and music production. So I started doing some health videos for music producers. And while I think it helped a good amount of people, there was a disconnect. And there was a disconnect in the sense that I really loved the audience that I have, but I didn't have like a deep passion for the content that I was putting out. Like, it felt like work to put out the content. And I don't want the content that I put out to feel like work. I mean, there's going to be times where it's going to feel like it regardless of what I do, but it almost felt like every time was a job. And so I talked with my YouTube coach, and we sort of unpacked a lot of things as I discussed. And after about an hour, you know, he asked me, like, well, why don't you just talk about building yourself as a music artist while balancing a full-time job? And that didn't even seem, I don't know why that didn't click with me, but it never did. And so that got me thinking that maybe this could actually be a real thing, because I don't know a lot of people that are doing that. Like, I always see gurus. I can't tell you how many ads I see of people saying, oh, you can be a music producer and you don't need to know shit. And just so many things of that nature. And I'm not downing those. Well, okay, I'm kind of downing those to an extent, but I wanted something where maybe I can make something from the ground up. And so, you know, what if it's not too late? And maybe I can frame this channel as a journey as I try to become a successful music artist. And successful certainly varies in terms of who you ask, but I would define success for me in terms of being able to sustain myself, have fun with what I'm doing, and live a comfortable life. Not a lavish life, but what I would consider to be a very comfortable life. And that is what I really want to try to do. And so that's what I pretty much plan on doing with this channel. So I'll be sharing music production tips. I'll be going over songwriting strategies that I use and learn along the way. I'll be going over habits that I practice outside of the studio that help me inside the studio, and anything that I learn in terms of marketing and building a music business, I will share on here, because I imagine that I'm not the only one in this. I would think that there's probably a lot of people in this boat, and I think it'd be really cool to just sort of share what I do and basically be the guinea pig for doing this. I know that there's probably a lot of people that have done this before me, but I just think it'd be really cool to document. And hopefully, if you're wanting to take this journey with me, you find it useful too, and hopefully learn some helpful things along the way. So I'm actually really excited about this. I've already been diving in deep as far as getting back into music production, and can't even talk now. I'm really excited to share this upcoming journey. So I'll be posting content that is sort of unrelated to the past content that I've been working on, but the whole goal is I want to figure out a way to become a successful music artist while still balancing a full-time job, and then ultimately, if that becomes successful, transition out of that full-time job. All right, now I want to know though, because there's probably certain things you want to know about, so leave in the comments, what would you like to know about as far as this aspect of my journey? Because I have certainly an idea of things that I think would be cool for you to know about, but you might have other ideas. So definitely post those in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.